in here of just writing down what I hear other people say, just true life songs, whether it's like Women I Never Had or Old Habits or the Texas Women, Family Tradition, just Whiskey Bent, just story. 16-year-old is starting to grow up real quick. I wrote that song, sang it on the bus, mother cried like a baby, and I got the award from BMI from the youngest songwriter. It was a good one. It would bring the house down.
Hank Jr. continued to establish himself as an artist and as his own man. But there were some crisis detours along the roads that would take him to the stardom that is his today. We'll travel those roads with Hank Williams Jr. when the history of country music continues. The history of country music continues with Hank Williams Jr. In 1970, Hank Jr. had a #1 record with All for the Love of Sunshine.
The darkness of my world was all cleared away. The flowers are blooming. It's a beautiful day. There's a girl with a heart as big as the sky. She's sunshine and I know why. All for the love of sunshine. All for the love of sunshine. The Lord smiled down on this life of mine and sent me the love of sunshine. Though sunshine can always make my day seem bright, sunshine can warm up a cold, cold night. I know my sunshine was sent from above, an angel that's filled with love. All for the love of sunshine. All for the love of sunshine. The Lord smiled down on this life of mine and sent me the love of sunshine. Through winter, the springtime, the summer and fall, the moonlight, the starlight, she outshines them all. In a world filled with fear, with hate and such harm, my sunshine can be so warm. All for the love of sunshine. All for the love of sunshine. The Lord smiled down on this life of mine and sent me the love of sunshine. All for the love of sunshine.
All for the Love of Sunshine by Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah, that was the one that was in the movie Kelly's Heroes, in the middle of the big tank battle between the Germans and Americans. Yeah, we're really banging out the shows now, too. It's got the Drifting Cowboys and Me and the Cheating Hearts, and all these fairs and stuff. Anyway, it was a #1 song.
But life was still cloudy for Hank Jr. The public and the industry continued to plague him with the Hank Williams image. And worse yet, to link his personal lifestyle to that of his famous father.
I got kind of sick of this Williams curse and things like on December, New Year's Eve, when you're 29, are you going to feel funny and all that? That really turns me off. It's a little macabre, and that kind of stuff is too hillbilly for me.
Yet at times it had seemed that there was some sort of curse. In August of 1975, Hank Jr. almost lost his life in a tragic mountain fall.
I was going on a sheep hunt in Northwest Territory. So I went to Montana to my friend Dick Willie's, and I was going to climb because you got to get your lungs broke in or your guide will be saying, hey, down there, come on. And so I got broke in. We were at the top at about 9,800 feet, Salmon, Idaho, and Wisdom, Montana on the border, and we started down. He went across the snowfield. His 11-year-old went across. I got on it, and the shell rock and the whole field went. And Forest Service taped it 482 feet, half free fall and half sliding snow, and I got a boulder, piece of rock sticking up out of the snow, and it caught me in the top of the skull, right on the top of the head and right between the eyes, and then into where the nose was and all at that time. The right eye was popped out of its socket, and they thought I was going to die. And Johnny Cash came out there, and June Carter. And in 15 days, I walked out of there.
Reconstructive surgery and convalescence took the next year and a half from the career of Hank Williams Jr., but he came back in strong show business tradition, and in 1979, he had one of the biggest hits of his career with his song, Family Tradition.
Country music singers have always been a real close family. But lately, some of my kinfolks have disowned a few others than me. I guess it's because I kind of changed my direction. Lord, I guess I went and broke their family tradition. They get on me, want to know, Hank, why do you drink? Hank, why do you roll smoke? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? Over and over, everybody made my prediction. So if I get stoned, I'm just carrying on an old family tradition. I am very proud of my daddy's name, although his kind of music and mine ain't exactly the same. Stop and think it over, put yourself in my position. If I get stoned and sing all night long, it's a family tradition. So don't ask me, Hank, why do you drink? Hank, why do you roll smoke? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? If I'm down in a honky-tonk, some old slick's trying to give me friction, I say, leave me alone, I'm singing all night long. It's a family tradition. Lordy, I have loved some ladies, and I have loved Jim Beam, and they both tried to kill me in 1973. And when that doctor asked me, son, how'd you get in this condition? I said, hey, sawbones, I'm just carrying on an old family tradition. So don't ask me, Hank, why do you drink? Hank, why do you roll smoke? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? Stop and think it over. Try to put
tradition was an important statement to its writer, Hank Williams Jr. But he laughed about how he got the title idea from country singer-songwriter Merle Kilgore.
It came from Kilgore. That's where I got the idea. Because we used to... This is bad. You get real wound up and real messed up and drink and might have to upchuck. And be over there and there'd be some people around you, just, you call a moose and say, oh, pardon me, it's an old family tradition. It's old Southern tradition, you know. Sorry, folks. That's where I got it from. That's exactly where it came from. And I thought, boy, the way they're laughing at that, this might be a good idea.
Family Tradition was a turning point in Hank Jr.'s career. The Family Tradition album was a top seller, and he was reaching a younger audience who had never seen his father and had no need to identify Hank Jr. with Hank Williams Sr. More of Hank Jr. and his career when the history of country music continues. The history of country music continues. Family Tradition firmly established Hank Williams Jr. as a country star, but he had been delighting audiences since his childhood with songs like these.
And it's all over, but the crying, I'd rather be gone than in your way. Lord, please help me. Do I have to be the living proof? I kicked the habit of smoking back some time ago. They say Hank was a mighty heavy drinker. I don't know. Way down yonder in the bio country in dear old Louisiana, that's where lives my Cajun baby, the fairest one in the land. Breaking these rocks in the hot sun, I fought the law in the long run. I got a right to cry. I guess you noticed there is only 11 roses. I wish I could find eyes that won't cry, lips that won't lie, and love that won't die.
Hank Williams Jr. talked about his activities outside of show business.
I live in Coleman, Alabama. There's 18,000 people. And I live in Buchanan, Tennessee. About 300 up there. In Paris, Tennessee, Kentucky Lake. I get in my airplane. I go do shows. I come back. I got a little boy, 8 years old, by my ex. He goes with me. He goes fishing and hunting and all. Got a beautiful little Hillary that's 2.5. Little baby girl, 2 months old. Becky, little homecoming queen of LSU. Jessie Jr., I call her. And I certainly don't mean this is about 1% of the fans out there. Maybe I don't live my life like people would like to see. I think Hank Williams Jr. should, but I live a man's life.
I've got a good woman at home who thinks I do no wrong. But sometimes, Lord, she just ain't always around. And you know that's when I fall. Now I can't help myself at all. And I get whiskey bent and hell-bound. Play me some songs about a rambling man. Put a cold one in my hand. 'Cause you know I love to hear those guitar sounds.